What's going on, NBA fanatics? This is your friendly neighborhood Memphis Grizzlies homer, Memphis X, and I talk hoops. Today, we are talking about the Grizzlies' 5th win in a row against the Detroit Pistons at home and their upcoming game against Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Maybe. But first, every hero needs their theme music.
Piano.
Grizz gang, go hard. Baddest in the game, we be on one. I talk hoops so secure. All up on the court, but we gon' score. Memphis bringing heat straight from Tennessee. Diamond spiking, let's go for he that MVP.
And I say maybe Trae Young because the Atlanta Hawks played a overtime game last night against the Chicago Bulls where they pulled it off on a last-second twisting turnaround shot from A.J. Griffin, the great rookie from Duke University, who should have been a Grizzly. But the Hawks were in overtime last night, and they play against the Grizzlies tonight. So we'll see how that goes for them. We'll see who plays, if Trae plays, if some of the other guys coming back from injuries play. It doesn't matter. But first, we're going to talk about the win over Detroit, which was, I'll tell you like this, this is one of those games that was never in doubt. The Grizzlies kind of played around with them. They didn't shoot well. They weren't really locked in for me in this game. They weren't threatened in this game. There was basically no chance that they were going to lose this game. But it was good to see the Grizzlies actually take care of business, beat this team. They won every quarter except the fourth quarter where the scrubs came in. They kind of, they didn't have their pedal on the metal, but they were still beating them pretty handedly. They came out in the third quarter, took care of business, won the third quarter by 12 points. So that's what got them real separation to really, play a little loose in the fourth quarter. Guys who had a real good game, of course, it was Jaren Jackson leading the way with 20 big points, 4 blocks, 5 rebounds, 2 steals. Dude, this is a crazy, crazy good defensive player. And then he topped that off with 8 of 12 from the field, 3 of 5 from the three-point line, and 1 of 4 from the free throw line. Just an outstanding game. Dillon Brooks had a good game, 16 points, 4 assists, only 1 rebound, 6 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Morant had 15 and 12. He led the team at plus 22. He had 4 turnovers, 3 steals though, 1 block. Looks like Morant's kind of trying to pick up the steals where DeAnthony Melton left off. He's been very, very good in the passing lanes, and this was probably Morant's best defensive game of the season. For some reason, he wanted to make sure Killian Hayes was not going to have him on the Summer Jam screen. John Conchar didn't hit a 3, had 4 rebounds, 4 or 8 from the field. And Steven Adams, 8 rebounds, back to a pretty good, decent rebound. Didn't play but 23 minutes because he did twist his ankle in this game. 4 assists, 10 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 0 for 2 from the free throw line. The bench, Brandon Clark had another spectacular game, 17 and 7 off the bench in 24 minutes. He's just when he is on his shit, he is just incredibly productive and efficient. Santi Aldama also had another good game, 9 points, 5 rebounds in just 18 minutes. Had 2 steals, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Tyus Jones, 7 assists, 1 turnover, 10 points, 4-11 from the field, 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Seemed like he hit some timely shots. Zaire Williams still hadn't got his shot together. Did hit, I think, got one dunk in transition, 4 rebounds. He is rebounding a little bit better. I think his height is doing him better. David Roddy, 7 points, 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 1 of 3 from the field, 1 of 2 from the 3-point line, 2 blocks. And his defense is still on point, especially for a rookie. So it was a pretty lackluster game for me as a fan. It wasn't one of the top games, I would say, for the Grizzlies this season, not even probably in the top 10. But I did like it. The one thing I did like about this game was seeing Marvin Bagley play a little bit better. I love to see him. People have written him off as a bust. But he's been a good player with Detroit, pretty good. And he has a chance to carve out a nice, long, productive career if he can keep progressing like he has been over the past year. So I really did like that. Marvin Bagley is somebody I did like going into his draft season. Jalen Duren, also 10 points, 12 rebounds. Just a real good player, man. Jalen Duren is going to be good. Boy, it's going to be good, man. He is going to be a good player. Glad to see him starting for Detroit. They need to just go ahead and make that permanent. Let him be the starter at center for them. I don't know what they're going to do with Isaiah Stewart, but they definitely should not have Marvin Bagley starting over Jalen Duren. This is a good time to get him some minutes. Let him learn the ins and outs on what players do on the court defensively, what he needs to work on this offseason, how he needs to prepare his body, all this stuff for the long grind of starter minutes. Because next year, the Pistons should hit the ground running as a potential playoff team with a healthy Cade, another lottery pick, another season of development for Ivy, Duren, Stewart, and having Bogdanovich if they keep him through the trade deadline. So that is it for that game. Let's focus on what we're going to do to these Hawks. I think it's going to be interesting to see if Trae Young does play. There's been very few games where Trae Young and Ja Morant have played in the same game. But I do look for hopefully this matchup to happen. I do like Trae Young as a player. He's having a rough shooting year this year, but he is still one of the most dynamic guards in the league. And I am looking forward to seeing this matchup in the Forum. Even though I won't be at the game, I'll just be catching it on TV. So hopefully we get a good game. Hopefully we're talking about 6 in a row come Tuesday morning. And I will talk to you guys then. Peace.